So you are flying into Berlin-Brandenburg Airport and perhaps you are a bit anxious about taking the train into Berlin. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to take the train from Berlin Airport into the city center so that you can relax and take that taxi money and get yourself a fancy dinner. I'll cover everything from tickets and passes, validating your ride, finding your train, and where to store your luggage. And lastly, how to make transfers. Hi, I'm Steve from Experience Berlin Tours. I help visitors to Berlin with tips on how to get the most out of their trips. I run a popular Facebook group called Experience Berlin Travel Tips. And I notice repeatedly that many group members avoid taking the train from the airport. These members usually end up paying anywhere between 50 and 80 euros for a taxi, rather than a few euros for a ride on the train. And a taxi often saves you little time, if any. Okay, let me show you step by step how easy it is. Now this is something you can do right now, even before you leave for Berlin. Download the Jelbi app from the BVG, Berlin's Public Transit Authority. The Jelbi app combines public transit ticket and travel pass purchases with guided directions. Directions just like you get with Google Maps. I like this app because it also offers taxis, ride shares, bikes, and scooters. This is the app that I use daily in Berlin. Play around with the app. Test out the routes that it gives you from the airport to your accommodations. If you know when your plane is scheduled to land, see what options it gives you. Shortly, I will go over the most likely options that you will be suggested. While you could queue up to purchase a paper ticket or pass from a vending machine, it just makes more sense to use an app like Jelbi. And every ticket or pass that I'm about to mention is available in Jelbi. Now, at first glance, Berlin's transport and fare system may look complicated. And I think this puts off a lot of travelers, but it shouldn't. Berlin's transportation network is divided into 3 fare zones, A, B, and C. The city center is located in Zone A, while the airport is located in Zone C. Assuming your accommodations are in Zone A, you will need an A, B, C ticket. At the time of filming, in January of 2025, a single ride, adult ticket from the airport to central Berlin is €4.40. Be aware, however, that when using single ride tickets, you need to validate a new ticket for each ride. At the time of filming, the fine for riding without a validated ticket is €60. However, there are daily and weekly passes as well as tourist passes such as the Berlin Welcome Card. And take my advice, get one of these travel passes. If you are planning to ride at least 3 times a day on Berlin's mass transit system, just get yourself a pass. There is a 24-hour pass and a 7-day pass offered by the Berlin Transit System. There are also tourist discount passes that include public transportation rides for between 2 and 6 days, plus you get 25 to 50% off of entry prices for up to 200 locations throughout the city. Buying a pass means a one-time purchase and a one-time validation, and that's it. And since you are watching this video, you must be considering flying into and out of BER Airport. Here's some more advice. Just get the ABC pass. This is also a debate in our Facebook group. It's about whether to buy an AB travel pass or an ABC travel pass if you're flying into and out of BER Airport. Many people choose to purchase an AB travel pass. In this case, you will need to purchase a single ride add-on for Zone C. At the time of filming, this add-on costs €2.10 per ride. The ABC pass will cost a few more euros than the AB Zone pass, but it covers you for everything. Again, a one-time purchase and a one-time validation, and that's it. Give your brain a holiday too. I have a video that explains how to use the Berlin public transit system and its many ticket options. I will leave a link to this video in the description below. By far the most popular form of transport into Berlin are the regional trains. There are 3 key regional trains operated by Deutsche Bahn that service the airport. These are the red, often double-decker trains that run express routes into and around Berlin. And generally, at least one of these trains stops at the airport station every 15 minutes. It's important to note that each of the 3 trains that I will mention make their first stop at Ostkreuz. Ostkreuz, in English East Crossing, is a large transfer station located on the eastern edge of Berlin's Ring. Here you can transfer to other regional trains, S-Bahn lines, and even buses. It's where Berlin's S-Bahn Ring, the Circle Line, intersects with Berlin's City Line, which crosses east-west through the heart of the city. It's very possible that Jelbi, or whichever travel app you are using, offers you at least one option where you transfer at Ostkreuz. This is because it's often faster to take the transfer option rather than waiting for the next train with no transfers required. Later in this video, I'll show you how easy it is to make a transfer at Ostkreuz. First up, we have the FEX train, that stands for Flughafen Express, Airport Express. As the name suggests, the FEX train is the regional train that starts from the airport and takes just 33 minutes to reach Hauptbahnhof. It makes just 3 stops. All 3 are transit hubs for transfers to other trains: Ostkreuz, Gesundbrunnen, and Hauptbahnhof. FEX trains have plenty of places to store your luggage that are clearly marked, and these trains depart roughly every 30 minutes from roughly 4 a.m. until midnight. The FEX is a no-brainer if you need to stop at any of these 3 stations, or you're confident that you can handle transfers. For most people who are not headed to Hauptbahnhof, I'll bet that this is not the most efficient option that the apps will suggest to you. Instead, I'll bet that you'll be offered one of the 2 other regional train options. At the time of filming, the 2 trains are the RE8, Regional Express 8, and the RB23, Regional Bahn 23. Both trains are commuter express trains. They look similar to the FEX line trains, though they are often not double-deckers, and occasionally they aren't red, like this one that I took from Friedrichstrasse. And they aren't designed solely to handle passengers to and from BER Airport. Thus, there are no designated luggage-only areas. However, there is ample space to store bags, usually in areas designated for bikes and strollers. And don't forget that you could store small bags and carry-on luggage under your seat or next to you. Sometimes there are even small overhead shelves. Like the FEX train, both of these regional trains stop at Ostkreuz. From Ostkreuz, both trains follow Berlin's Stadtbahn, or city track, making stops at Ostbahnhof, Alexanderplatz, Friedrichstrasse, and then Hauptbahnhof and Zoological Garden. It's from Zoological Garden where their paths differ. The RE8 goes on to Spandau, the RB23 will make stops at Charlottenburg, Wannsee, and then Potsdam. If your final destination is near any of these stops, the chances are you will be recommended one of these lines. Both trains stop at BER Airport once every hour, and according to the official timetable, the RE8 runs 24 hours a day, while the RB23 runs hourly between 4 a.m. and roughly midnight. There are a couple of other possible regional trains, but it's unlikely that they will be suggested to you, so I'm going to leave them out of this video for simplicity's sake. The S-Bahn is Berlin's express subway system, and there are 2 S-Bahn lines that start from the airport, the S9 and the S45. For most travelers, the S9 is the most relevant as it runs along a route similar to the RE8 train, ending in Spandau. Although roughly 20 minutes slower than the regional trains to Hauptbahnhof, the S-Bahn train offers 2 potential advantages. First, it makes additional stops along the way, including 3 that are likely to be of use for some travelers: Treptower Park, Warschauer Straße, and Janowiecbrücke. Second, the S-Bahn runs every 20 minutes, all day and all night, making it possibly the only train option you have if your plane lands quite late. And with 3 departures every hour, the extra travel time might not matter. The S45 could also be a suggestion. It starts at the airport and ends at Südkreuz, the southern junction of the ring. It makes stops in Neukölln and the Tempelhof area. However, it does not stop at Hauptbahnhof and other major parts of the city. You will need to transfer to another S-Bahn train at Südkreuz. As with all S-Bahn trains, there is ample room to store luggage, especially in the train cars marked with bicycle symbol. After passing through baggage claim and customs, you will exit into Terminal 1 through one of these doors, or a similar set of doors on the other side. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're flying into Terminal 2, The signs will bring you right past these doors. It's just a short walk to the escalators to descend just one floor to the underground where the trains are located. Before you get onto the escalator, there is an electronic train departures. Here you can confirm from which platform your train is departing from. You can also see if it's delayed. In this image, you will find the departure time, the train number, some of the important stops along the route, the final destination, and its platform. Some of these trains are IC or ICE, Inner City Express trains that will make stops in Berlin before moving on. Be aware that your Berlin travel ticket or pass does not include these trains. Now, simply head down the escalators to catch your train. At the bottom of the escalators, you need to make a 180-degree turn and head back behind the stairs to reach the platforms. There are 6 platforms in total. Platforms 5 and 6 are for the S-Bahns. To reach tracks 1 and 2, the staircase and escalators are to your left. Tracks 3 and 4 are straight ahead. That's it. Getting to your train is really that simple. It's possible that you will be suggested a trip that includes a transfer. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a chance it will be at Ostkreuz. This is usually the case if you take the FEX train from the airport, but your final destination is between Ostkreuz and Hauptbahnhof. Transferring is very easy. This is particularly the case if you plan to take the elevator. When you arrive at Ostkreuz on the FEX train, you will arrive at the upper level just outside the main concourse. The upper level is where trains heading north and southbound are located. You'll need to head down to the lower level to the east and westbound trains. These are the trains on the crosstown lines that I mentioned earlier. There are a few more platforms here than at BER Airport. However, it is really easy to figure out which track your next train is on. And there are escalators and elevators to get you to each platform. Sometimes transfers at stations require more walking, especially when transferring from S-Bahn to U-Bahn lines. This could be the case at stations such as Alexanderplatz, but even these transfers are manageable. Now, that's really easy. And the process back to the station is the same, just in reverse. Now, learn to master Berlin's public transport in this video right here, or plan your first day with my handy first day itinerary in this video here. See you in the next video. Tschüss!